If 97% of your customers told you exactly how to keep them longer, would you listen? Because they just did, and most landlords are ignoring it. So let me ask you something. Do you know how stressful the average move-in is? Do you know how many of your tenants are carrying debt? Do you know how many want to pay rent differently or feel like your property is stuck in 2007? What renters want isn't a mystery. We're not guessing here. A national survey just gave us the answers, and it reads like a blueprint for stronger NOI and lower turnover. The real edge in multifamily right now isn't found in finishes, amenities, or even location. It's in the experience. And it's time to break down the three things renters are telling us loud and clear that could drive your next lease up, renewal, or exit valuation. So let's jump right in. So tech and convenience. And let's start with the most basic expectation, ease. 97% of renters say they'd stay longer if their apartment experience felt like Amazon. Fast, simple, seamless. But what do they get? A stack of PDFs, a confusing portal, maintenance requests that vanish into the void, and you wonder why your retention's slipping. But here's what they want: a single app where they can pay rent, submit maintenance, and track communications. Self-guided tours that don't require 4 emails and a phone call. A move-in experience that doesn't feel like switching banks in 2003. And here's the cost of ignoring it. Over 90% of renters said their move-in was stressful. That stress doesn't just disappear, it stays with them. When renewal season rolls around, that first impression becomes your biggest liability. Operators that simplify this journey, from lease signing to maintenance to move out, are already seeing higher renewals and better online reputation scores. This isn't luxury, this is a baseline functionality. So think about how you run your portfolio. If your tenants can book a hotel, buy a car, or order dinner in 60 seconds, but can't get a work order update in less than a week, that's a broken customer journey. And in 2025, that's not just bad service, it's a competitive disadvantage. And here's the part most landlords never consider. How rent is paid matters just as much as how much is the rent. 93% of renters say they want flexible payment options, weekly, bi-weekly, mid-month, whatever aligns with their income flow. Because here's what's really happening in your buildings right now. 85% of your residents are carrying personal debt. Many are paid on a rolling or irregular schedule. And you're demanding full rent on the first of the month, or else. That mismatch, it's costing you. Late fees, missed rent, churn. It doesn't come from bad tenants, it comes from the rigid systems that no longer match real life. When rent is inflexible, tenants fall behind. When tenants fall behind, collections dip and stress goes up. And when stress goes up, renewals go down. It's not about being soft on rent. It's about structuring payment in a way that preserves cash flow and strengthens loyalty. Think about brands that win customer attention. They all offer flexibility. Credit cards let you choose your due date. Streaming platforms let you pause and resume. And now fintechs are stepping into other flexible rent, whether you do or not. And if you're still thinking like a ledger, you're missing the opportunity. Flexibility is operational leverage. Now let's talk about something that's completely missing from most property operations: incentives. Think about this. 98% of renters say they value a loyalty program for paying rent on time. Let that sink in. Almost every single resident in your portfolio is telling you, if you reward my consistency, I'll stay. But what do they get in return for paying rent earlier on time? Nothing. No points, no credit, no thank you. Just the silence of a transaction that's expected. Now, zoom out. Every industry from airlines to credit cards to grocery stores is running a rewards program. Why? Because they work. They create habitual behavior, they create emotional loyalty, and a reason to stay when someone else offers the same product for less. Multifamily is one of the few remaining sectors that doesn't reward customers for doing what you want them to do. That's a missed opportunity. Smart operators are starting to offer rent rewards tied to renewal credits, referral bonuses that go beyond a $50 gift card, rent points that can convert into rent discounts or partner perks. It's not about giveaways. It's about creating a sticky ecosystem where tenants think twice before leaving. And even if rent's cheaper down the street, and in a market where brand trust is low and options are many, that kind of stickiness is priceless. So what does all this add up to? 3 different renter demands: a seamless app-driven experience, flexible rent payments, and loyalty programs that reward consistency. At first glance, they seem separate, operational, optional, but together, they're pointing at one thing. The unit is no longer your product, the experience is. You can have the best finishes, the top tier location, even the best price on paper, but if the process feels outdated, inflexible, or impersonal, you're losing tenants before you ever get a chance to retain them. This is the new reality of multifamily operations. Residents want to interact with their home the same way they interact with Amazon, Netflix, or even Delta. They want flexibility like Klarna and Affirm, not penalties for being human. And they want a sense of appreciation. something in return for the thousands they pay every year. The net era of NOI growth won't come from charging more, it'll come from reducing friction, increasing engagement, and building trust. This isn't about tech adoption, it's about adopting a mindset that the property is just the starting point. Now, the real asset is the experience layered around it. And the landlords who get that, they're not just collecting rent, they're building brand equity. Now, this report isn't a wish list. It's a blueprint for competitive advantage. Because here's the truth. The gap between what renters want and what most landlords offer, that's not just a service gap, it's a profit gap. And in 2025, you don't close the gap with granite countertops or gem equipment. You close it with experience design. And if you're still operating like it's 2015, rigid rent schedules, no digital interface, no reward for loyal tenants, you're just behind. You're exposed. And the future of multifamily isn't about luxury. It's about frictionless systems, financial alignment, and behavioral loyalty. So modernize that layer and you unlock higher retention, you unlock fewer concessions, you unlock better reviews, and ultimately a more valuable asset. So here's the call. If you're serious about outperforming in lease-ups, renewals, or even valuation, modernize your operations. Because if you don't, your competitor already has.